All right, so today's video, we are spectating. So if you haven't seen my Overwatch YouTube, we have a lot of spectatings, and what we do is we just help people get better, and I also can learn a little bit too, especially early on in the season. So this is a Gold 3 game. They're gonna be playing Moon Knight. They were Diamond 1 last season, and this is on PC on Tokyo. Their description says, Diamond 1 was my peak in both Overwatch and now Rivals, and I wanted to burst that ceiling and hit GM or even higher, so be as harsh and straightforward in any advice as you want. Although the scoreboard doesn't say I played bad, it doesn't stop me from feeling like I could have played 10 times better. I had some pretty decent ultimates this game, and one particular juicy one you will know when you see it. Was I autopiloting too often and not playmaking enough? It just felt like we weren't making any progress towards ending the game when we were on attack, always dying out of sync and staggering. Although I didn't get called out this game, the Doctor Strange seemed to not like anyone else on my team, calling out everybody, especially low-key, which soured the team morale a bit, which led to nobody communicating. Which that's always never fun when people start doing that, because then, like, it will make your teammates play worse. Like, most of the time. All right, anyway. Here we go. Let's see. Let's see how this Moon Knight is. Moon Knight's fun.
Compelling, don't you think?
I love that I can see the player crosshairs, too. Like, what their crosshair is. Let's go, DB. Here we go. Let's see how this goes. I like the idea. So you're basically going for a flank play. The problem I see is exactly what just happened. Now, let's just pause for a second. It worked, but like, should it have? Right? Like, there's no way you should be able to get away with that play. So these are already things you clean up. Yeah, if you have a play where you play above them and you make an aggressive play, that's great. Keep in mind, I think as you climb, that will get a lot harder to do. But you need to make sure you have a clean escape out, and that was not a clean escape. Remember, you also can glide a little bit with like Moon Knight, so if you get like a good movement, you can just glide away. But, yeah. Don't you love the games where nobody shoots your onk? I must say, Moon Knight is so fun to play. I wish I could, now that I've climbed a ton in this game, I wish I could play Moon Knight more, which you technically can with combos, but if you end up getting the worst comp, it's like, ugh. Because if the bands don't go your way. Good ult. I mean, Moon Knight's ultimate is so much better now.
That's 3.
One for Steven, one for Jake, one for me. Needed that, thanks.
Oh boy, here they come!
Yeah, top right's pretty decent. Also, one thing to remember, by the way, for anybody playing Moon Knight, your onk has a little bit of a pull to it, so sometimes what you can do is when you pop your ultimate, you can actually drop it on the ground and pull them in a little bit. And now, especially with the Moon Knight ultimate getting a bit of a buff, it's even more so, like, key to get that off if you can. Don't, like, force it and get, like, one shot, but if you have the opportunity, you throw that in, it will pull them a little bit, and then they get killed in the ultimate, or at least kind of makes it easier. So.
Against the world.
Dude, one thing about Moon Knight is you can farm ults. Like, you can farm ultimates. Don't be afraid to do some earlier onks here, too. You did. You can be creative and put them on, like, walls, too. I found those to be effective sometimes, because people always look at the floor now for them. Now, are you staying here too long? I don't know yet. There you go. Clean escape.
Needed that, thanks.
Now, even when they're invisible, you can shoot in there, so don't be afraid to see. Yeah, you're doing it. Because you can spam in there and do all the damage, you just can't see anybody.
Need their power.
Is your on? 90%, be careful now. Remember, you can play range. One thing you want to do as Moon Knight is don't be afraid to play a little bit further back to be safe. Otherwise, things like this will happen where you're basically giving them free opportunity. One thing you're going to have to work on as you climb, by the way, is your positioning. If you end up playing really, like, front and center as Moon Knight, you will fall over eventually. Moon Knight is a hero that benefits from range. Now, obviously, if you have backline people pushing you, you want to gravitate in, but yeah, just be careful of that.
Fantastic! Ha! Ha ha! Ha ha! Almost didn't make it.
Okay.
Us against the world!
Back up. Just keep backing up.
Assemble!
Take the high ground.
Do your worst.
Their power.
That onk's fine. Good onk, actually. I like it. This is, they're gonna probably win the team fight with ultimates. Yep. One thing that you can do, and this is for anybody who's like new to hero shooters too, when you know they have ultimates, it's okay to play a little bit closer in range. And what I mean by that, like, you create a second team fight that's pretty safe. So don't be afraid to bait out ultimates. I think that's something that, like, a lot of people, there's a lot of players who have played Rivals and haven't played like a hero shooter yet. And sometimes, and basically, I mean, just it's called ult economy. And basically what you're doing is you're recognizing they have a bunch of ultimates, and then if you keep playing back, yeah, there's like a chance that maybe you get like a random pick or something, and like you turn the fight. But sometimes it's like, okay, we have nothing. Let's force them to ult the cart, so that way you have a much safer retake. And that's something that like comes with time. Now, obviously, you know that because you said you're Diamond 1 in Overwatch, but this is for people who have never played this type of genre, which has actually been a lot. I mean, I feel like this is the first time in a long time we've seen a bunch of people try in the genre, which is pretty cool, so. It's fun. Here's the emongg. You're kind of out of position, so you're gonna need to escape out. Otherwise, yeah, I will say, you're getting away with it now, but in the future, that would be a good ult. Yeah, I was gonna say, good ult. The ultimate's so much better now. Good job. But yeah, real talk. I definitely think you should clean up your positioning. If you want to get ahead of the curve, start trying to find more angles that are like really hard for their team to follow up on, and really hard to go and kill you if they have mobility. Ooh, nice ult by your teammate. That's gonna be some farm. Just be really, really careful of that. Yep. Oh yeah, there's multiple different ways to play it, I agree. But, see, here's the thing. One thing that will always, like, in my opinion, be true though, especially in hero shooters, if you work on things like your positioning, you're gonna be well ahead of a lot of the people playing the game. Right now, a lot of people just kind of stand in the middle of the open, including myself at times, but like I've recently improved my positioning greatly again. And like, you can always get in that habit, regardless of what it is. So, yeah. That's what I'm trying to get the Moon Knight
Watch over me.
kind of wary of, is that mechanically I'm seeing great plays, but you need to like make sure you're not giving them a free kill. Like they need to earn the kill on you, not have easy opportunity to get that kill. And while they haven't punished you for it, that's where you create inconsistencies in games. Is where, yeah, it's working now, but then like it doesn't always work, and that's how you 50-50 the whole time, and then never actually see that progress. Don't be afraid to ult this card to get out ultimates either. Good kill, but like, okay, this is what I mean. So let's pause again. That play was a good play in my opinion. Like the ultimate itself was good, but not what you did to do the ultimate. You could have done that ultimate from any range. You chose to go up on the high ground above them, drop down in front of them, pop your ultimate and get 2. Okay, now you could have done that exact same ultimate from range, and instead, because of that, now you're in a very unique spot where they've popped their tank ultimates right in front of your face that these ultimates should never hit you. So what's going to be more beneficial to your team? Getting 2 kills with your ultimate at range, or you going in, playing really aggressive in their face, getting 2 kills, and then have pretty much probably going to get killed here, right? That's my guess. And at the very worst, you've popped low-keys. So I call it Lamp because in Overwatch, BAP has Lamp, which is invulnerable. So a little bit, this right here is Lamp. If you don't know what this ability is, right? Like if you're playing Rivals for the first time and you're looking at this and you're going, wow, what is that? This is Lamp. And this is why I'm trying to get people to kill them, is because in Overwatch, if I said to you, yeah, you never kill the Lamp, you'd be like, dude, what are you talking about? Are you dumb? Like, why would you never kill the Lamp? In Rivals right now, no one's killing Lamp. No one's killing Torb turrets, which is like, you know, if you ever play against Namor, same thing, right? You said that you heard in pro scrims that they call the ability Crystal. I mean, that's fine. If I call it Lamp right now, people that play Overwatch know what I'm talking about with it. Does that make sense? So yeah, like eventually there'll probably be terminologies that will end up being like widespread throughout Rivals. So the point I'm making here is like, even at the very least where you get saved here, like look at what's happened. Because your position, including your whole team, would end up being bad, now your Warlock has to use the damage reduction, your Loki has used Lamp, and now you have a Doctor Strange who's going to end up ulting your team, right? On paper, you're like, wow, I got 2 kills, easily winnable. But like, if you ever wonder, oh, how do we lose that? Plays like that. I'm telling you now, if you can learn position really early on in Rivals, you're going to end up in a really good spot. It may not show right away, but I'm telling you, when you climb, it will get so much better for you. See, now you're back in your position where you should have been. But here's the problem. It's overtime, right? They're going to have their supports back with both their ultimates. And now your team doesn't have the cooldowns you need to be able to survive any of this. See? And that's all because your teammates started with bad positioning. Because of that bad positioning, you're going, how'd we lose that? What are we doing? Well, I'll tell you how you lost that. It stemmed and started with you and your team having bad positioning,
At least
and then they ult. Your teammates need to use all their survivability cooldowns, then you lose second point. Do you see? How do you tackle a diving comp? You need to play even further back and make them use double cooldowns to get to you, while also using your Ankh defensively.
Fantastic!
I think your Ankh becomes a defensive tool at that point, if you're playing against full dives. Basically, you force them to have to kill your Ankh to give you an extra second or two of like damage, and if they don't, then you kill them. And then play with one of your supports. That's probably what you do. All right, there you go. All right, now, I want to make sure I'm correct on something too. Chat and correct me if I'm wrong. You get 2 Ankhs, and you can preset them up. So why aren't you like presetting up an Ankh somewhere like, you know, somewhere not in the middle of the ground, to where you could have, at one point, up to 2 Ankhs alive, right? These choke areas are where I would start to do that. Like, set them up somewhere early on. Like, don't throw it right there, because that's going to get killed right away. You could throw it a little bit above. When they walk through, it's going to do damage. They have to turn around and kill it, right? So I would like to see a little bit more of that. Good ultimate. That ultimate's really strong now, so I'm not surprised to see it get kills. The way I do my spectatings, you're probably not going to be heavily roasted too much.
Judge.
I just kind of tell you what I see, make it fun and entertaining, and we have a good time. So I wouldn't worry about that too much.
Pressure's down.
But I also understand that. Yeah, that's just like your teammates are pushed in. Don't be afraid to throw an Ankh, I was going to say. I wonder, does the Ankh get destroyed right away if you throw it into the thing, or does it just like happen to be...
By the eye of Agamotto.
Good res by your Warlock, holy crap. You're all gonna get rolled? The downside of a good res is that if the other team is near you, good luck surviving it. If you look at my, on my main YouTube channel, you'll see that I do like a spectating series. That's actually became pretty popular in Overwatch, so... We're bringing, you know, gonna be running both of those now, which, I mean, hopefully people like them. Here you have the right idea, but once again, what you're doing wrong is you're defaulting to being within range of them. You're like, yeah, but what about the cart? I'm gonna be real with you. Since you don't have, even with Warlock, it wouldn't matter. Since you don't have any way of surviving that, I would rather see you just play it safe, set up some good damage, and hope that you can trade a kill. In that situation, the kills alone are probably going to win you the team fight rather than you standing within 1 foot of them. All right, so a lot of what you're doing wrong right now, at least in my opinion, is just your position's a little bit off.
Help get that vehicle to its destination.
All right, that feels better.
Same concept here. Play range. Don't give them free kills, okay? Don't be afraid to take off angles. This is a good play. An Ankh will be decent. Yeah, the right click's good to use occasionally, yep. It's very good when you have your other stuff set up. Okay, now use your ult early here. I want to see an early ult, and don't use it now. Never mind. I mean, you know what? You got to kill on a support. I think that's fine. So why is the thing top left like make the portraits like that? Do you see what I'm talking about? Yeah.
You need their power.
Yep. And the Punisher. Dude, these are one of these situations, by the way. Does anybody else have this issue on Moon Knight where when you get a Groot, even if they mean well, they always heck up your plays regardless? Like, I don't take into account any of that stuff. You can shoot in between the invisible thing. There's a lot of free damage in that ultimate if you just spam through without running through it. You'll find.
The moon haunts you.
The moon. Don't be afraid to onk when you get it up. I know you already used it. Just spam.
Assemble!
Remember, positioning. You know the Punisher's top left, so why are you peeking the Punisher? And this kind of goes back to what I've been saying with like spam-based comps sometimes. I think a lot of people try to do two things wrong on Moon Knight, and I could be wrong. Maybe, you know, this could change in a while, my opinion on how this plays, etc. But one thing that I think a lot of people will do wrong in this situation is they will try to like just force a good onk. That's all they're worried about. It's like, I need to have a good onk. That's it. The only thing I need to do is have a good onk and we'll be good to go. The problem is that you don't need to do that. Is because you're still going to get a lot of value. And a lot of your value will end up forcing them in. If you can just sit there and spam them out, you can then get a much better onk for a really fast burst damage play than just trying to use it on rotation over and over again and hope for the best. So if they don't kill it, great. But like, a lot of players I feel like just try to force the ultimate and that causes the problem. Or not the ultimate, the onk itself. You can ult this if you want. Actually, I would recommend it. But I wouldn't play like this. Like, play on a back roof somewhere.
Was getting
right?
kind of worried there.
Play on like a roof in the back somewhere. Something like that, you know?
I am the moon.
Actually, I don't mind that ultimate. It's like a peel. Yeah, it's a good ult. You use it defensively. Nice ult. I like that.
Look at your strength.
Only 60 seconds left.
You know, this is going to be kind of like not the best comparison, but I think people will understand what I'm trying to say here, okay? Right? So here's what I'm trying to say. You ready?
Keep up the momentum.
If you were playing Junkrat, I wouldn't recommend you as Junkrat to run in front of their face, to use not your mines or anything, but just to use your left click, right? Can work occasionally, but you probably don't want to do it. Moon Knight's the same thing. Remember that. So, medium range to long range, you're gonna have a good time.
Us against the world.
I don't mind this play though. This is close to your team, and they're paying attention, so that play's fine. Now the Punisher's there though.
Fantastic!
Just mid-range to long range. Yep. And it goes back again. You got the kill, and I liked what you did, but because you're it's almost like you're extending your stay for too long. Remember that. You're probably extending your stay for a little bit too long. All right, here we go. What rank is this? I think this is a gold game.
Needed that.
But I think it has like diamond MMR because they were diamond previously. And like with the rank reset, so I don't know. It's like it's anywhere from gold to diamond.
Can I get a turn on that?
Like, why are you getting this close for your ultimate? And that's what I'm trying to get at with you is like, why are you this far up trying to make this play happen? You don't need to be that close. It's a free kill. Here we go.
Us against the world.
Wait for it.
Fantastic!
Make it again.
That's an ultimate, that's for sure. Okay.
Only 60
How do you get the code? My Discord is where I do it. Look for the Marvel Spectated one. That's where we do it for that one. And obviously for Overwatch, it's the Overwatch Spectated one. So yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, like, he should play at house just above them on the gate at first point. Well, yeah, I mean, like, there's multiple spots. Like, if I wanted to, how do I do it? C, right? Like, you could go back here. Like, let me give an example. I mean, heck, you could go back here. And then, like, let me show you. This angle is absorbed here. You can play this angle to be able to put onks here if you need it. Like, you can shoot that, right? Like, you can play further back here. You see where there's, like, a lot of safe spots? If you end up playing too aggro, like, this spot's okay for now. Here's what I would see. If I'm the other team and I see you here, I'm gonna go try to take you off the high ground. So as long as you now recognize this and get out of there in the next second, you're gonna be fine. If you stay there for too long, you're gonna fall over. Your Strange made this a lot better for you. So thank your Strange later. Now ult. Great ult. Great combo, great ult, great everything. Nice play.
Down to 30 seconds.
Now thank your Strange, because your Strange made sure they had no chance to kill you. And what a great ult by Groot to make you look 10 times better on that one.
Oh, they do not look happy.
Oh, remember how I said you can have 2 onks up? A sneaky onk you can do that I've been doing sometimes is, okay, you throw it like up here somewhere, maybe even like here at like an angle, or like maybe like up here. And what this does is that you're gonna have 2 onks eventually, right? So what you do is you keep it up here as like a one that you can use as like a secondary play later. And I think a lot of Moon Knights will get better at this later, where I don't think a lot of Moon Knights are recognized and you can have 2 onks, is why not use one of your onks defensively already, or use it as a spot to control an area, and then have your other one be the one that you use as like an aggressive piece. So like you set one up here to kind of help with this angle that people like to take sometimes, and then you'll use another one later on that will be more of what you're going to do aggressive play-wise, right? And then now you've basically controlled this part of the map and forced them into an advantageous spot for you. So, yeah, kind of cool. So, it makes sense to do that, right? People will spend 20 seconds trying to set up on a melee hero. Why not take those 12 seconds to set up for a Moon Knight play with that? You know? Yep.
Needed that, thanks.
Punish you first. There you go.
Won't bother us anymore.
Another Groot ult combo soon.
Judge, jury, executioner! Good riddance. That got to use their power. The move.
One second.
Down to 30 seconds.
Okay. I don't mind this. This could be a good play. I like this, by the way. This was a good approach. You're playing range. You know that they're pushing your team. This was a good play.
It's waiting for us.
I like this play. Good job. Oh, also, if anybody doesn't know, I'm going to teach you something on this map of a spot to get behind and flank more. I think sometimes people ignore this route, and in my opinion, it can be super helpful. You ready? Did you know that you can take a jump pad up to here and then be behind them? Did y'all know that? And then be right here. You can use this route both on attack and defense for flanks. So this is a way to actually get behind them and make a play. Some people don't know this exists. Now you do. And if you already did, great, right? So see, you have a jump pad here. You have a health pack here. So you can use this as kind of like your part of the map. If you can control this part of the map as like a solo DPS, or even with like one tank, you basically can corner them if done correctly, right? And then if they push your team, you can go here and see you're in a safe spot survivability-wise, see? So there's definitely more to the map that I think will be used as more people play the game. Yep. That's why Spectating is gonna be good, though. You learn a lot about things you wouldn't think about.
All right, that feels better.
Us against the world.
What? Don't even think it's slowing down.
Disappear.
Now remember what we learned about your Moon Knight. You get too aggressive sometimes. Use your ult, use your ult. Because you're gonna have to touch, yeah, I was gonna say. At that point, I just think you use your ultimate, hope people's monitors turn off. I don't know if it will do enough damage to the Invisible Woman ultimate, but you need to do something so you can get to the card. So, listen, you said that you feel like you played well, and actually, we can see the scoreboard, by the way, in this game, too, so I can actually show the scoreboard. Here's your final scoreboard, right? Like, this is where we're at. And, like, you're gonna go, yeah, you feel like you played well. Now, listen, sometimes damage doesn't mean all. Moon Knight is a high damage, you farm enough, you get a bunch of stuff done, right? Do you see this right here? Like, as Moon Knight, you're gonna farm a lot of damage. Your problem is you just keep giving them free kills. I watch this game, I see 11 deaths. I think you finish this game with 5 or 6 deaths if you play it correctly. And maybe you get less damage because you just win the game. In the future, when you're on Moon Knight, I want you to start remembering multiple things. One, it's okay to take angles, but have your escape route planned, okay? Number 2, start to do some pre-onks early on in team fights if it controls a part of the map. And also remember, when you have bad positioning, if you get a kill or two, it doesn't necessarily result in a win. So start working on your positioning to find much better angles and spots and make it so they need to really work to get kills. The way I always say it is this. If you're playing the game and you're going up against a Moon Knight, do you want the Moon Knight that pops off sometimes, but also is standing on top of the cart in front of you? Or do you want to play against the Moon Knight who's either taking angles you can never get to and you have to overextend the kill? Become that second Moon Knight and you're going to win a bunch of games and you'll be fine. So work on all that. I think you'll be fine. So you definitely can climb and you'll get past that peak, okay? You got this. You absolutely got this. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to all my YouTubes. We have a few of them. Leave a comment, like the video, all that stuff. It helps. If you want to submit your own rivals spectating, or if you play Overwatch and you have Overwatch spectating, etc., play the games, my Discord. That's where you do that. It's in the description below. We also record these live on stream. We stream on Twitch and YouTube, so stop by if you haven't. We have a lot of fun here. And with that being said, I hope you all have an amazing day/night.